Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 3rd through Sunday, June 9th, 2019. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Fairy Tarot deck by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Angel Tarot deck by Jane Wallace. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at your stones of choice. Your first stone of choice is Tiger Eye. And the Tiger Eye, we're going to relate these stones this week to the chakras and what you might need most at this time. The Tiger Eye, of course, is this brown and golden stone. You can see the kind of striped, reflective nature of the brown and gold here. And this relates to the root chakra as well as the solar plexus chakra. So the root chakra is our center of security, stability, and it's also a chakra that helps us to manifest things on the earth plane. It helps us to be grounded. So if you're dealing with some security issues, whether they be financial security issues or just ability to be stable and grounded, then this might be the stone of choice for you. And then the solar plexus chakra, that yellow color here within the Tiger Eye, is relating to the solar plexus chakra, which is your center of personal power, your center to where you have a sense of your sense of willpower, leadership ability, and confidence. So those are some added energies to that stone. Now, this is rhodonite, your second stone of choice. And the rhodonite, of course, we know is relating to the heart chakra. It's a nice pink stone, a little different than rhodochrosite. The difference is that rhodochrosite is pink, but it has white inclusions in it. The rhodonite is just purely a pink stone. And this is a stone that's helping with unconditional love, compassion, all that heart chakra, emotional healing, relationship healing that's associated with that chakra. And then your last stone of choice is this beautiful turquoise. This is a special turquoise. This is turquoise from an Arizona mine here, not too far away. I mean, it is a little far away from Oregon, I guess, but certainly closer to Oregon where I live now than it was when I lived in Michigan. But this turquoise is relating to the throat chakra. So this is about our communication. This is about us communicating our truth with honesty and integrity and authenticity, being able to really just communicate what it is that we're thinking, the ideas that we have, and even communication of our feelings as well. So again, your stones of choice are the Tiger's Eye, the rhodonite, and the turquoise. Just a reminder that this is the first full week in the month of June, so we're into a whole new energy this month. And if you want to see the overview of the whole month, the high points, the highlights of June, please go to my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the monthly angel card reading for the whole month of June. It includes the stone of choice and it includes special messages, just like the weekly reading does. Okay, so let's talk about the astrology for this week. We start out on Monday the 3rd of June with a new moon. And this, of course, is the new moon in Gemini. It's at 12 degrees Gemini. Now, Gemini is the sign of the zodiac that, to me, represents the fairy realm, which is why I wanted to use the Fairy Tarot deck this week. And, you know, it's that sign that rules all our thoughts, our ideas, our communications, our ability to express is that Gemini nature. Now, this new moon at 12 degrees Gemini is in a challenging aspect to Neptune, and then later on in the day, the moon will have moved far enough to oppose Jupiter in Sagittarius. So really the new moon, itself at 12 degrees of Gemini is really just challenging, making a challenging aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the planet of the spiritual realm. Neptune rules the creative, the artistic, the psychic, the intuitive, the healing aspects of life, or even of our soul's journey in this life. But Neptune also rules confusion and delusion and things not being clear, things not being tangible, things not being focused or grounded. So, since this is a challenging aspect, and of course with the new moon, both the sun and the moon are at 12 degrees of Gemini, There might be some miscommunication issues that are happening at this time with that challenge to Neptune. And of course, it's just the beginning of a cycle, right? The new moon is new beginnings. So we're in the beginning of a 2-week cycle of energy to where we're planting new seeds and kind of watching them grow throughout the next couple of weeks until we get to the full moon. But right here in the beginning, you know, especially in the beginning of this new moon cycle, again, there might be things that are unclear with that Neptune influence, where we might, you know, lack focus, or we might have trouble making a decision or seeing something with clarity or speaking with clarity. But Gemini is a vacillating and mutable sign, meaning there's many possibilities, there's many options, there's many potentials with Gemini. You know, Gemini sometimes has a hard time making a decision because it flip-flops back and forth, but you can use this to your advantage and take this Gemini mutable, changeable energy and again, you know, look at all the various possibilities, you know, whether you make a list or make a mental note and think about all of my possibilities, all the potentials of how something can play out, all the differing energies that might be involved in making a decision. And maybe it's not the best time to make a decision, so you might want to have a little bit of patience and hold off from making the decision if you can. But look at all the potentials, look at all the possibilities there. On Tuesday, the 4th of June, Mercury, the planet that actually rules Gemini in the zodiac, is moving out of his home sign of Gemini on the 4th and moving into Cancer. Now, he'll be in Cancer until June 26th. So one thing I want to mention, that when we have that new moon at 12 degrees of Gemini on Monday, Mercury will be in its last part of Gemini, its last part of its home sign, the last degree. So that makes Gemini more powerful, that energy of Gemini, and the energy of Mercury and Gemini more powerful. Now again, Mercury rules all aspects of the mind: speaking, teaching, writing, networking, you know, new ideas coming in, communicating those new ideas with other people. But now that it's moving into Cancer from June 4th until June 26th, the shift of our perceptions on a mental level and the shift of our communications are going to be more nurturing, more intuitive, more about home and family, you know, all those things that Cancer rules, more in regards to children and family, because Cancer does rule home and family and children, and Cancer does rule nurturing and our kind of inner intuition, if you will. On Saturday the 8th, Venus is also changing signs. Venus will be moving out of the sign of Taurus, which is one of her home signs, just like Mercury was in Gemini, which was his home sign. Venus was in Taurus up until the 8th of June, which was her home sign. Now she's moving into Gemini. She's going to be in Gemini from June 8th until July 3rd, so almost a month. And her shift in the area of relationships and partnerships, as well as money and finances, because those are the things that she rules, is going to shift now to Gemini energy. So in Taurus, she was much more thoughtful, much more practical, much more grounded, much more stable. And of course, Taurus is one of the signs of the zodiac that does rule personal resources, money and finances. So it was especially highlighted at that time that she was in Taurus. But now that she's moving into Gemini, she's starting to look at all the various possibilities. She's starting to maybe scatter her energies, which can be good or not good, depending on what the circumstance is, you know, to again look at all the various potentials out there. Now in relationship, Venus in Gemini is much more sociable, much more communicative, much more flirtatious, much more logical though. She's not as emotionally connected. She's just, you know, more about having fun and kind of being free and, you know, again, having really good logical, you know, communications or intellectual communications. And Venus in Gemini can also be multiple relationships. Okay, so that, in other words, she might be dating more than one person at once here, rather than just being committed to one person. And of course, again, it depends on the circumstances within, you know, relationship matters for you. Venus in Gemini in regards to money and finances, this can be good because she can look at, again, all the various potentials and possibilities of how to create or make money or bring money in. Also, though, she can get a little bit scattered, because Gemini sometimes has this scattering effect or vacillating back and forth between two or more things. And, depending if you are working on a particular project, it might be a little bit more difficult to focus and follow through on something, or to make a very practical and grounded, focused decision about something regarding money and finances. But use it to the best and most positive of the energies of Gemini. Use it to work maybe on more than one project at once, or look at more than one avenue to create and make money and bring that into your life. And again, to just be more sociable and have more fun in life. Now on Sunday the 9th, the Sun, which of course is still in Gemini, is now challenging Neptune. Remember how I said that on Monday the 3rd, when we had the new moon at 12 degrees of Gemini, and it was challenging Neptune? I believe Neptune's at 17 degrees of Pisces, so that was about a 5-degree difference. Now the Sun has moved forward over the course of this week, and it's exactly challenging, or exactly in a square aspect to Neptune. So basically over the course of this week, the Sun is getting closer and closer to this challenging aspect to Neptune, which is causing things to maybe be more and more confusing, or having more of a lack of focus, or in other words, to me, the Sun rules our identity. So we might be having an identity crisis in some way. We might not know, quote unquote, who we are, or what we're supposed to be doing in life or out in the world right now. So there might be, again, that lack of focus. And our vitality is also, our physical vitality is also associated with the Sun. And since the Sun is in Gemini, our physical vitality can be kind of up and down right now, that kind of dual nature of Gemini. So sometimes we might feel very energetic, and sometimes while the Sun is in Gemini, we're maybe feeling quite tired and fatigued. But with the Sun connecting to Neptune on Sunday, and like I said, it's getting closer and closer throughout the week, we might be feeling a little bit more zapped in our energy. Neptune has this dispersing effect, or this effect of things kind of disappearing or dwindling, in other words. And so with our physical vitality, along with our sense of confidence or self-identity, there might be, again, this continued intensity of this feeling zapped or unclear or confused, or, physically more tired, if you will. Just a little bit of a highlight, on Monday the 10th, which will be part of next week's reading, the Sun will then move on to oppose Jupiter as well. So just kind of a little heads up that I feel like with the Sun in Gemini and with Jupiter in Sagittarius, those are both mutable signs that deal with education or information, communication, higher thought, lower thought, so it's all that mental realm stuff. So I feel like it might be a good time, as we're nearing the weekend this week, and then of course into Monday, which is part of next week's reading, to network with other people and seek information, seek more information, research, if you will, find out as much as you can about whatever it is that you're working on or involved in. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the cards for the week. Now, the first card, there's actually 4 cards here, which normally it's 3, but more often than not in my readings, we have, more than 3, because sometimes when a card flips out of the deck or falls out of the deck, or I pull a card out of the deck, sometimes there's 2 cards attached. And with this first card, this is one of 2 cards. So let's turn over this one. We have the 7 of Autumn. And the 7 of Autumn, this is like the 7 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, or the 7 of Earth, if you will. And at the bottom it says, have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. And it says a prudent investment of time and money. Now the number 7 in numerology can be an energy of being perfectionistic, an energy of being too much in your head sometimes and overanalyzing something, or getting worried or anxious about something because things are unclear. There's that unclarity or that lack of focus a little bit. And the number 7 is about having faith and trust because there's a lack of clarity. It almost calls for us to really just have faith and trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing and in the way that it should, because we don't have all the puzzle pieces. And with the autumn suit here being the earth suit or the pentacle suit, we're dealing with money, finances, career, projects, things that are tangible in our earthly third dimensional life. And so I feel like, this is pretty much saying, and just like it says, have patience. Have patience because there may be things that we don't know yet. We may need more information. We may need to do more research on something before we're able to see something clearly or make an appropriate decision. And just like it says, don't have any worries, don't have any concerns. You just have to, again, be in that space of trust and faith. This is a time of rest. Remember I said our energies, physical energies, might be a little bit zapped. And it's a time to really, again, like it says, plan your next steps. The number 7 is a planner. It's logical. It likes facts. It likes figures. It likes numbers. It likes to be very prudent and logical when trying to figure things out. And it wants to have all that information. It wants to have all the puzzle pieces in place. And so it's a great time to plan. And remember too that before the new moon happens on Monday, and I didn't look up the time of the day that it's happening, but right before the new moon, we're in that dark of the moon phase. And that dark of the moon phase is this inner time of healing, just like the number 7. It's about going within, being more contemplative, being more meditative, trying to connect with your higher soul self a little bit more. And as we're in that dark of the moon time right before the new moon, it is a time where, things are, again, unclear, but it is more of a time of rest and healing than anything else. Now let's take a look at the second card that came out with that and get more information. Okay, well this is very interesting because this is the Ace of Spring, and in the traditional tarot this would be the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Fire. And the aces are about new beginnings, and it actually at the bottom says it's time to take action, be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams and amazing career opportunities. So isn't this very interesting? Because to me, these two cards are saying two very different things. This one is saying to have patience and to plan your next steps, don't rush or anything. And this one is saying, whoa, take action, move ahead, kind of just really have that energy and pursue what it is that you want. Now remember, we have a new moon, and new moons are about new beginnings. This one is, again, connected to Neptune, which means, again, it's a new beginning, but there might be a lack of clarity in the beginning. So have patience, but also make some plans to take some actions. Maybe not jump the gun and take the action right away, although perhaps if you really feel it, then you definitely should. But I'm feeling like there's a little lag time here. There's this need to have patience and contemplate just a little bit with that 7 of Autumn, but then get ready to plant those new seeds with the Ace of Spring. Be ready to take action, make a decision, pursue your goals, pursue these opportunities. And especially with the Spring suit, the Fire suit, the Wand suit, this can definitely be about career, life path, destiny path. All right, so let's take a look at the next card for the week. Okay, we have another spring card, but we have the number 7 again. So we have two number 7s here, which are very, again, an internal energy, a contemplative energy, an energy of logic as well. The number 7 is mental, which is logical, emotional, and also spiritual. So it's all of these things combined. And this is like the 7 of Fire, the 7 of Wands. Now it says at the bottom to be assertive and don't back down from what you believe and courageously stand up for yourself. So that kind of follows up the Ace of Spring really nicely, where we need to take action, pursue goals, pursue opportunities, and be more assertive. The Fire cards or the Spring cards are about, energy and action and forward movement. And in this case, again, we're being more assertive, which is interesting because the number 7 to me is just much more internal and contemplative. Now we can certainly merge those energies. We can be contemplative before we assert ourselves, which is to me the best possible thing to do, especially because we have planetary shifts this week too. Mercury moving out of Gemini and into Cancer, Venus moving out of Taurus and into Gemini. There's going to be a huge energetic shift here going on in the mental realm and in the realm of the divine feminine energies of Venus. So it would behoove you to maybe just take a moment to allow those new energies to settle in. But this is, not backing down, being confident, being courageous as you move forward with whatever it is that you're initiating with the Ace of Spring here and the new moon in Gemini. So let's see what the last card is. The last card, we have another ace. Well, isn't that interesting? We have 2 sevens and we have 2 aces. So there's definitely new beginnings here with this new moon. Now, the Ace of Winter is like the Ace of Swords in the traditional tarot. And the sword suit is the suit of the mind. It's the mental realm. And that definitely fits the new moon in Gemini here. The swords, which is the mental realm, fitting the Gemini energy. So there's a beginning of a new way of thinking with the Ace of Winter or the Ace of Swords. And there's a beginning of a new way of spiritually experiencing things with the Ace of Spring or the Ace of Fire or Wands. Now, the message at the bottom of this says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately and amazing new ideas that should be implemented. So, one thing that definitely stands out is that Neptunian energy to the new moon and that Neptunian energy with the sun at the end of the week, bringing a lack of clarity, a lack of focus, a lack of understanding in communication with other people. And so it does say it's very important to communicate clearly and accurately, and that's going to be very true this week. Sometimes Gemini, just by itself, all this Gemini energy that we have going on with the sun and moon in Gemini at the beginning of the week. Of course, the sun is going to be in Gemini until about June 20th or so before it shifts into Cancer. But also remember, Venus is going into Gemini on the 8th and will be there the rest of the month. So that Gemini energy sometimes has this back and forth vacillating effect from one thing to another. So it has a hard time making up its mind. It sees the potential and possibilities in more than one avenue or one direction. And now that we have this Neptunian influence, it makes it even more needed to be very clear when you're making a decision on something, either for yourself or for yourself and other people, and when you're communicating with other people. So it's going to be very important this week to just really be clear. And as it says, don't be deterred by challenges. And it seems like we have this up and down energy going on this week. We have the 7 of Autumn, have patience, don't worry, plan your next steps. We have the Ace of Spring saying it's time to take action, happily pursue opportunities and your goals. The 7 of Spring, be assertive, don't hold back from what you believe and have confidence in yourself. And then the Ace, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. And there's, new opportunities, new ideas that are coming in that need to be looked at and implemented. So this really gives a nice kind of clear passage of information or energy that's happening for the week. Now let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card based on your stone of choice. So again, we have the Angel Tarot deck. I'm just kind of shuffling it off camera here once or twice. And I will give it a little shuffle here on the camera. And for those of you that chose the Tiger Eye, of course this is a whole tarot deck, so we have lots of cards in this tarot deck. And this actually, I was going to go for that one, but actually this one is calling my attention. And this is the Queen of Wands. And this is a message of creativity. Now the Queen of Wands, Queen of Fire, she's very confident. She's very creative. Look at, she has a sunflower, a yellow sunflower. She's holding it at her heart chakra, but she's also got a gold wrapping around her head. She's got gold wings. She's wearing a gold dress. This is all about that solar plexus chakra energy. And isn't it interesting that the Tiger Eye had part of that solar plexus energy there? So you're needing to really step up your sense of willpower, take charge, be confident, be a leader, be happy, be joyful. All of these things relates to the solar plexus chakra. The sunflower in particular to me is a flower that to me is about confidence and success. And it seems like in one or more tarot cards, there is a sunflower involved when it comes to the sun card, the sun card, the sunflower, the color gold, the color yellow. So this is really, again, about empowering yourself. The solar plexus chakra is about you taking your power back and empowering yourself. The Queen of Wands is a very creative energy, a very confident energy, especially in the realm of business, career, life path, destiny path. So this is going to be your focus for the week. Okay, for those of you that chose the rhodonite, I'm going to give this a shuffle, and this one's calling my attention for rhodonite people. Wow, another queen, but now we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups says sensitivity, and isn't it interesting again, the cup suit. And we have the rhodonite, which is the heart chakra, which is all about the emotional, the nurturing, the relationships. So here we have the Queen again, and she's very sensitive, she's very intuitive, she's very gifted in the healing arts, she's very psychic, she's very motherly-like. So she's, definitely an energy of caretaking and nurturing and loving and compassion towards either herself, towards her children and family, towards other people in her realm of existence. So this is about also not just what I've just said, but also about being more, what do I want to say, and using your intuition, really tuning into that divine feminine intuition. To me, sensitivity can also be your psychic sensitivity. So tuning into the messages that you're getting from spirit, what's coming in from spirit as far as directions you need to go or what you should be doing. Perhaps doing a little bit more meditation, or this can also be about doing healing on yourself or getting healing done on you as well. Okay? All right. And for those of you that chose the turquoise, let's give this a little shuffle. And I know that you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. This one right here is just kind of sticking up. So the turquoise people, and it's got a turquoise color in it. Isn't that interesting? This is the Judgment card. This is Major Arcana 20 and Judgment. And it says Angel of the Past. Now, the Judgment card here, she's blowing her horn, right? It's like blowing her horn to get the attention of something. To me, this is also about messages in a way. It's like blowing the horn to the universe, sending out your intentions, but then listening to receive back whatever message you get from the universe. The Angel of the Past, this is about not judging yourself anymore. This is about reflecting on the past, past situations, past circumstances, past ways of living and thinking, and maybe even past lives. And as you tune into the past, it's like calling you to have a healing or a recognition of this is the past and it's time to let it go so that I can move forward into the future. Look at these two dolphins here with the angel. The dolphins are jumping and moving forward. So she's having this like call to attention to review the past, let it go so she can move forward to the future. And again, don't allow judgments to get in your way. Don't judge yourself. Try not to judge other people. Try not to judge the work that you're doing, the job that you're doing, how you're thinking. The past is the past. And even if we've made mistakes, it's all a part of the soul's journey. And especially when you get the Major Arcana cards, it is about the soul's journey through kind of the tarot keys. And with this one, we're getting to the end of some sort of journey because the next key would be 21, and that's the last of the Major Arcana. So you're getting close to the end or completion of some sort of soul learning, or I'm just going to say soul learning. Soul learning, soul understanding, soul awareness, I guess is a good word. We're getting towards the end of some sort of soul awareness within something in this lifetime for you, and you're getting ready to move forward. Okay, so I hope everyone has liked this weekly angel card reading. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, commenting on my videos, liking my videos, sharing my videos. I appreciate you all so much for your support and your love and your kind words. Thank you for following me on Facebook, for visiting my website, Sacred Soul Empowerment. I send you all much love and light, and many, many angel blessings.